Gundam.tk presents Wing Gundam. Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Robert184 from Gundam.tk, and I'm here to wrap up with part 8, my goodness, of my review of the Master Grade Wing Gundam. And of course, this is a lead Gundam, so for me this is worth 100 parts of review. And there's so much to say about it. Mostly good, but a lot of bad things too. But anyway, let's go into that, and then I'll let you know my final verdict. So my first complaint while it's in bird mode here is actually going to sound a little bit silly because one thing that I did enjoy surprisingly about the high grade 1/100th is its transformation, and part of that is just because, well, this is a cheap 1990s feeling toy, so it just sort of feels like a transformer. It's got loose parts, but everything just, it's a quick 1, 2, 3 transformation. You could still be making the sounds and be done. This one, because it's a little bit more complex, as it should be as a master grade, it's just not as fun to transform, if I can say it that way. That being said, though, the end result is a lot better, as this is just so much sleeker, better design, better wings, better everything. My next complaint is just that when you're attaching the action base to it while it's in bird mode, you'd think that they could provide a second way to attach it. Right now, the way you attach the action base is exactly the same in mobile suit mode as it is here in mobile armor mode. But anyway, they could have just given you a variation so that you don't have to have it launching off this way on the action base. Just another small nitpick. My next complaint is about the sensor on the shield, or what sort of looks like the cockpit when it's in bird mode. Anyway, the fact that they give you a sticker for that, I can completely forgive, but you'd think you should be putting the sticker underneath the clear part, not on the top. If I wanted to be putting a cheap green sticker on top, I'd go back to my high grade 1/100th and replace that daily because it always wants to fall off, thank you very much. So that's something that, because I have the green paints on hand for the 00 kits, it's easy to fix, but if you don't have those paints around, that's a bit of a problem. My next complaint is about the wobbly shoulders, but I do want to just also point out another good part, that when you pull this down from bird mode, you actually have a cool looking mark here, and there's no other reason for that, just other than the fact that it's just not a big empty shoulder pad there. They actually do leave a point behind. But the point is, these things are a little bit loose, although once you get it locked down in bird mode, it does want to stay. But my other big complaint is this part. You have a piece underneath and then you put a white figure 8 kind of thing piece on top, but that should be gray, so why didn't they put that? Why wasn't that a gray piece? Why is that something we have to line ourselves? Just a very small annoyance when I was putting this together. Now the next point is that the legs are a little bit wonky when it's in mobile suit mode, and that makes sense because of course they have to have this strange double knee bend mechanism to be able to put it into bird mode. But that being said, it's a little bit tricky to get the legs lined up just the way you want them, especially if you want the left and right leg to be exactly in the same shape, because there's just a lot of moving parts and it's hard to get them lined up just where they want. On the other hand though, in bird mode again, you can see how well these fold together, and well, I'd like to claim that they don't look like Gundam legs, but they do a pretty good job of not looking like Gundam legs. Well, from this angle anyway. Next up, you can see inside the shield here, I was very happy with the way the shield attaches to the forearm, but I wasn't happy with the way the shield attaches into the hand itself. The hand doesn't have a good grip on it, so you can move it all around and it stays in place. I don't want to say it's going to fall off, but it's staying in place thanks to the forearm lock. It has nothing to do with the hand itself. Whereas on the other hand, literally, the beam saber sits in there perfectly because they built in a nice locking mechanism. Might have been nice if they had done the same with the shield. And my final complaint is about some people love having the multiple hands or manipulators and some people hate them. Well anyway, I'm going to have a bag of extra parts and these are just going to sit there most of the time. And especially, a lot of people are unhappy, it sounds like, the fact that you have to take off the hands when you transform it into bird mode. And for me, I can forgive that, but sometimes I'd rather just have the regular fists with the 3-finger trigger finger split, rather than have to keep a hold of these and have them on hand whenever you want to switch the hands on. What is my last negative comment? Well, it's the unknowns. And I remember when I built Master Grade Victory and Master Grade Exia, I'm so excited, of course, to get a Master Grade Lead Gundam, that it's very easy to overlook some of the problems, but a lot of those problems just become noticeable over time. Now, of course, I just finished building this model today, so I can't tell you how I'm going to feel about it in 6 months. But Exia has bad ankles. So far this is standing up. The Victory Gundam is loose, the shield, a whole bunch of problems. But, you know, this one so far is exceeding my expectations, especially in comparison to those two. But let's see how it holds up to the test of time. But let's get to the good points because there are a lot of them. So anyway, it's back in mobile suit mode here from bird mode. But first of all, I have to say I like bird mode. I had some silly complaints there, but overall it looks good and it is solid, mostly on account of the hips locking into place. It stays together as one solid piece exactly like it should. And especially you can see it here on the mobile suit mode as well, but especially when it's in bird mode, the shield, the white, instead of just being a big block of red, just looks so good, especially if you take the time to put in the green paints. Next up, we have the ability to open up the wings, and just the fact that it has those 3 points of motion. The high grade just has 2, the red one can pull down. But they just, A, the wings look fantastic, but B, just the mobility that they can come up, back, 90 degrees forward, and you can do asymmetrical poses, symmetrical poses, whatever you want to do with them. These wings are really what makes Gundam Wing worth buying. Next up for me, if you look at the top of the wings, you'll see that there's yellow and not gold. Now, some people will miss the gold, but I do not. And that simply goes back to the fact that I want my plastic models to look identical to how I envisioned them or enjoyed watching them in the anime. And this one, I think they nailed the colors, but I think that orangey gold that they put up there, or the orangey yellow, is a real hit, and I'm very glad that they got rid of the gold. And the same thing holds true for the head here. I'm a huge fan of the head of this Master Grade, although it is very simple, but because it's simple, I think it's great. The stickers with the little details like the white parts in the middle, the construction of it by putting on the 2 sides the yellow Vulcans, the yellow part with an actual red jewel instead of just a big blocky gold part. Anyway, I'm a huge fan of it, and though, remember in the opening of Gundam Wing how detailed that head was? I'm glad that they decided to skip out on that and just go with something that's simple, clean, but keeps exactly the spirit of the anime. Next up, what can I say except how awesome are these weapons? First, the construction is fun, and even though it's just gray with not a lot of color, just that one yellow piece, it's just fun. The fact that it bends and that you can put in the ammo packs there. But more importantly, I was really concerned about weight issues because I know that the Master Grade Wing Gundam version Ka has a lot of weight issues keeping its weapons up. But in this case, A, the hands by themselves do a good job if you push the fists back in, but just by having that clicking lock mechanism, just perfect. So far, not a single problem with weight. And what about the shield? I just am so impressed with this, mostly just because of the white trim. Yes, they should have given you a sticker, but the fact that they've got this part actually sticking out, it opens up so that you can put the beam saber inside, little details like the gray showing through, the handles inside, and a lock mechanism for the forearm. This shield is a huge plus, and it looks great in bird mode when you combine it with the Buster Rifle. Big plus for this kit. But finally, what about the wings themselves? If you've built, I already talked about the Master Grade Wing Gundam version Ka, but what about the Wing Zero Custom, or the Endless Waltz version? Anyway, its wings are great. That is probably one of the coolest Gundams that you'll ever put anywhere on display. However, the wings are horrible. Huge weight issues, but these wings, they're bigger than the high grades and they move everywhere you'd want them to go, but so far I've had absolutely no issues keeping them exactly where you want them, and that's how it should be. So the weapons and wings, fantastic. So now I've been going on and on about a whole bunch of details, but really what's the most important thing for me is that A, this is a lead Gundam, and my goal, as probably everybody knows who's watching, is to get all of the leads in Master Grade 1/100th. What do we have, 4 left? Anyway, but more importantly, this one, it captures the feeling of the anime perfectly, and that's something the high grade just didn't do. The proportions are right, and if I go back to Master Grade Force Impulse, that took a Gundam I didn't really like, and the Master Grade made it awesome. And this takes a Gundam I do like, and the Master Grade makes it even more awesome. So what about in the future? Well, Bandai had their survey up for which Master Grades do you like, but if you look at the G-plate here, this doesn't say Wing Gundam on it. It says, what does it say here? XXX G-Frame 1 ABS parts. So anyway, if you looked at all of those parts, none of them are incompatible with a Wing Zero. So hopefully in the next few years, we're also going to be getting a Wing Zero exactly like the anime, not the Endless Waltz version. But in the meantime, this is a fantastic kit, and I'm glad that they went with this one first rather than Wing Zero, because it's always better to get the less popular suit first because you're guaranteed to get the more popular one later. Anyway, everybody, thanks for sticking with me. What is this, 8 parts? Anyway, Robert184, Gundam.tk, this site is not, it's no good without you guys, so please comment and let me know what you think and leave some comments on the front page. Hopefully I'll be back with some more Gundam dailies and more reviews. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. See you again soon. Don't forget to stay tuned for the fate of the high grade.